Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Locke here. As promised, I'll be providing you some help here with unit conversion and significant digits for the third 9 weeks exam. I want to start with converting international system to international system, where we have 350 gigaliters to centiliters. This is a common problem where we're using a fairly large measurement here of giga, which is a billion liters, and we're going to convert to centiliters. And everyone should have access to their formula sheet. That you'll have that on the exam. And what we're going to focus here on is where giga is. We're going to be utilizing the initial G. Giga stands for 10 to the 9th power. And we're also going to be utilizing centi, which is 10 to the negative 2, also initial C. So we're going to use those conversion factors here. What that essentially means is that if I have 1 gigaliter, that is equivalent to 10 to the 9th liters. And if I have 1 centiliter, I have 10 to the negative 2 liters. And I can use those both to combine to go from gigaliters to centiliters by basically putting 10 to the 9th over 10 to the negative 2 power centiliters, which is going to equal 10 to the 9 minus negative 2 power, or 10 to the 11th power. And so that is the conversion factor. 1 gigaliter equals 10 to the 11th centiliters. And so if I wanted to convert 350 gigaliter, I can do that one of two ways. I can take two fractions. I can do 10 to the 9th liter over 1 gigaliter, and then I can cancel out liters, and that is 10 to the negative 2 liters equals 1 centiliter, because that's my desired unit right here, centiliter. And that 10 to the 9th divided by 10 to the negative 2 will get me 350 times 10 to the 11th power. That's what we found right here. That's centiliters. Meaning that I'm going to move the decimal, which starts here, I'm going to move it 11 places to the left, and that would, to the right. So that means that I'm going to move this so that I have 350, and then you start counting 1, 2, 3. There's 3, 6, 9, 3. So I have 3, 6, 9, 11. I don't need those commas there anymore. I just need to kind of mark those. So I need 11 more zeros after 350. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I can do this. That is a lot of centiliters. That is international system to international system, where I could do this with two fractions, or if you can do the direct conversion, you could also just write 10 to the 11th centiliter over 1 gigaliter, and you get the same result. Unit conversion, converting international system to US customary. We have 25 kilometers, and we're going to convert to miles. This is not too difficult. Again, utilizing our formula sheet, we would want to look for the conversion. And if I can find it quickly here, we're looking for length. And I'm looking at 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. And so I'm going from kilometers I'll write this out carefully so that my conversion factor will be exactly what I need it to be. The reason why I'm putting 1 kilometer in the denominator is I want to eventually be able to cancel out kilometers. So I'm going to look at 0.621 miles, abbreviate miles, and I'm going to get 25 times 0.621 miles, and that will equal, find a calculator, 25 times 0.621 is 15.525 miles. Might try my calculator again just to make sure I've got it right. Now, because I started with 2 significant digits here, really kind of want to not be that accurate. 15.525 miles isn't what I measured to exactly, so I might go ahead and round this so that I actually have 2 significant digits in my answer. The unit conversion, converting U.S. customary to international system. If I have 110 gallons and I'm converting to liters, again, I want to look and see if I have a gallon to liter conversion. That is 0.264 gallons equals 1 liter. And I will write what I'm given, 110 gallons. I'll write my conversion factor, which I want gallons in the denominator now, because that will help me to cancel out the gallons. So that will cancel, and I have 1 liter in the numerator. I will multiply 110 times 1, which is 110, and then I will divide that by 0.264. I will get 416 and what appears to be a repeating decimal. What I will do then is I will look and see how many significant digits I have here, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but that really, 110 gallons really only has 2 significant digits. And so I'm going to only provide 2 significant digits, the 4 and the 2. The 0 is not significant. And I'm going to round to the nearest 10 liter, as this is the nearest 10 gallons. So 420 liters would be just fine. That's converting U.S. customary to international system. Converting U.S. customary to U.S. customary. If I subtract 5 feet 4 inches from 11 feet and convert to decimal feet, I will usually use 11 feet and then do 5 feet. If I'm working this out, I'm going to subtract, and I have 4 inches. Now, I have 0 inches above it right now, and so if I borrowed one from here and I did 12, so that's just like borrowing from the tens, except this is base 12 understanding here. 12 inches is 1 foot. So I will have 12 inches or 1 foot. 12 minus 4, I get 8 inches. And then 10 minus 5 is 5 feet. So I have 5 feet, 8 inches. They are combined. That there's a plus sign that's implied in between them. And if I want to convert that to decimal feet, I will convert just the inches. I'll put the plus sign there so you can kind of see that. And I will convert the inches using the 12-inch 1 foot conversion that you should be familiar with. And that will equal 5 feet plus, and what is 8 divided by 12? That is 0.6 repeating feet, or I'll just write 5.6. And I usually round to the nearest hundredth. They don't tell you how many places you can round to. I wouldn't go any more than the 100th place when it comes to inches or feet. So, but usually they would tell you what to round to on that one. So that is the decimal feet, 5.67 feet or 5.7 feet if they're rounding to the nearest 10. What happens if you have two conversions in one problem? Well, the first thing you want to look at is, what does that mean? 43 miles per gallon. And so I'm going to rewrite this as 43 miles over 1 gallon. It's important to define that, to rewrite that, because you don't want to write, as an aside, you do not want to write 43 miles per gallon in that form. It's not really helpful to put it with a slash here. I want to have a clear numerator and a clear denominator. I want to be able to convert that, and then what is KPL or KMPL, you might see, kilometers per liter, or it might be written out, but that's what I was trying to go for, was kilometers per liter. That would make sense. So I want kilometers over liters in the numerator. So what is the number that's going to go in front of the km, in front of the kilometers? So I'm going to need two conversions. I'm going to need the conversion of kilometers per mile, which is 0.621. 0.621 miles equals 1 kilometer. Make sure your miles is mi, because if you put just m, that's the same as meter. And then I'm also going to need the gallon, which 1 liter equals 0.264. 1 liter equals 0.264 gallon. And make sure you are really clear about writing those fractions out and knowing where they are. And you may even want to make sure that you just are being a little neater about your work than I am right here, where everything is separated, and kind of give yourself plenty of room. So the conversion factors are going to be, I'm going to have two of them. And the first one is going to be, I'll probably go with the miles first. So I want to put the miles in the denominator. I'm very careful to associate 0.621 with miles. 1 kilometer is in the numerator. This helps me to note that 43 will be divided by 0.621. I want liters in the denominator because that's where they are. So I need liters down here, and I need 0.264 gallons up here. And so I need to be able to cancel these out. And if I had switched that around, or switched the numbers around, number one, they would not be correct in terms of the conversion. So I need to make sure 0.264 goes with gallons, 1 goes with liters. And then I'm just going to check, is miles cancel out? There's mi and miles. There's gallons over here, and gallons in the numerator, and I probably should spell it consistently with a small g. And what I'm left with is 43 times 1, so I put that on my calculator. And you don't necessarily have to multiply by 1, but 43 times 1 times 0.264. I'm going to take that number, and I'm going to divide it by 0.621, is the only non-1 number in the denominator. And I'm going to get a number that is 18.28, or I'm going to round it to 18 kilometers per liter, because I started off with two significant digits over here. So to wrap up, I only have about a minute and a half left in my 15-minute. So I'm going to try and wrap this up in a minute and a half. In significant digits, you have 3 rules. Rule number 1 is all non-zero numbers are significant. Number 2, zeros between significant digits, which, by the way, that would mean all non-zero by default, but zeros between significant digits are significant. And number 3, zeros in the decimal trailing significant digits are significant. So, that being said, are significant. That being said, the one here that we're going to look at first, 0.004, the only significant digit is 4. There is one significant digit here. Number 2,